we have some exciting news. And so, drumroll. My book, The Rules of a Big Boss, A Book of Self-Love, is in Baltimore County Libraries. Clap.
Why is it important that it's in Baltimore County Library?
Because Baltimore is like a city over from where all of the stuff in The Unexpected Journey of Fire and Gold happened. Nope, this way.
So to be specific, my daughter went through relentless bullying, relentless bullying that included physical assault, sexual assault, and attempted murder. And it happened in Howard County Public School Systems. That's where she was attending when she was 7 years old. That would have put her in the 2nd grade. And Baltimore County is the very next county that's over from Howard County. So a good friend of ours who lives in Baltimore, knew that we wrote the book, and they made a recommendation to Baltimore County Public Library Systems to say, hey, you guys should really purchase and carry this book in your libraries, largely because this hits close to home, and that the child author who wrote it is more or less a local hero for the region, and also a national hero. She wrote a book or whatever that detailed the experiences and everything that she went through, and helped herself in writing this book. And now she's published it, and she's since moved away. But despite her moving away, the message is for everyone. So they made that friend made that recommendation on Saturday, and Baltimore Public Public Library emailed that friend today to let them know that the book has since been purchased and will be added to their catalog within the next 2 weeks. There's a post in the group somewhere where you guys will see it, where we celebrated that, and because that was really big for us, particularly given that we don't live in the local area. The book is also available in the North Carolina Public Library System, specifically Wake County and Durham County. But not only that, but the book that she's holding in her hand is available within Wake County and Durham County libraries. They're also available at all major retailers, and they really go into our different stories or whatever. And they're not stories of just pain or whatever. They're stories of pain that's been overcome and everything, and trials and tribulations and things that we all go through. As stated in our previous video, the books have been reviewed by professional editors, and the professional editors have given the books 5 stars and 4 stars. We've also done several interviews on the news talking about a story and on several different podcasts and things of that nature. And one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to give away copies of one copy of The Rules of a Big Boss and one copy of the Unexpected Journey, Fire and Gold to whomever is listening in. We haven't yet decided how we're going to go about giving away that book. We're going to come up with some type of contest or whatever to give people an opportunity to win it. And we haven't yet reached that decision of how we're going to run the contest or anything to that effect, but we will be definitely discussing that in our next live video. So while we're here now, do you guys have any questions? Do you have any questions like about publishing? Do you want to hear more of the story? Do you want to know where you can find us at? Just let us know. Anything specific you want to say about the sweatshirts or anything else you want to talk about beyond the books?
The sweatshirt he's wearing is from my website, which is www.thebookofselflove.com, and then so is this one that I'm wearing. I don't know if you can see it, but this is the writing that's on it and then has another picture of a black woman on it. And once again, you can get them from my website, which is www.thebookofselflove.com.
What's the significance of the hood? What's the significance of the hoodies? I mean, what's the writing that's on mine? What's the significance of the writing that's on yours?
And the significance of his shirt is to embody like what is written in this book, which is self-love and empowerment, and so is mine.
So what's the message?
I can't read it. It's too close to my face. Let's see. Stay true to yourself, queen. That's what it says. So that means to stay true to yourself.
How so? What are ways that you can stay true to yourself?
Not giving into peer pressure, and yeah, pretty much just not giving into peer pressure. And like I said in like the previous live, you can't, what did I say? You can't, I think it says something like you can't appreciate what you don't know you have. So like once you learn yourself, and as I said, you change like over the course of the years as you grow up and stuff. So as soon as you learn that, then you can start to stay true to yourself, not give in to peer pressure, and learn how to love yourself and things like that.
So staying true to yourself basically means, everybody is someone at their core. And people grow, they evolve, and you mature. And as you grow, evolve, and mature, you're gonna grow. You're going to change slightly, but you're not really gonna change who you are at the core. If you're a giving person, generally speaking, you're gonna stay a giving person for the rest of your life. If you're a selfish person, you're gonna pretty much be a selfish person throughout your life or whatever. And stay true to yourself to me means basically just staying who you are at your core, like how your parents raised you or whatever. If you're a good person, you be a good person. We go through trials and tribulations or whatever, and those trials and tribulations can change you. So you could go through a bad relationship or something to that effect, and going through that bad relationship, you may say, hey, well, I'm gonna be as mean to people as they've been mean to me, or I'm gonna stop being Mr. Nice Guy, I'm gonna stop being Miss Nice Guy. No, stay true to yourself and who you are, and you will ultimately receive the rewards in the end for being who and what you've always been and how you were raised to be. So staying true to yourself to me means you're a certain person at your core or at your root, and you always stay close to that root, no matter what life circumstances or situations are thrown at you.
I disagree with that. And what I'm gonna say is like why I disagree with it. Like you are who you are at the core. Yeah, that's true to an extent, but once, like, let's say you're a selfish person and you're mean to people and things like that, and you bully people, anybody can change who they are, but they have to want to change, and they would have to be able to do it themselves. They would have to be tired of themselves, meaning you can't change anybody, but they can change themselves. So I think that anyone can change if they want to, and if they work hard at it, because chances are, if it's something that they really want, then they're gonna succeed at it. That's Oreo. And I have seen it happen to plenty of people. I've known a lot of super annoying, aggravating people. It's not even funny how irritating they are to me. But like that was in like maybe the 5th grade, and now I'm in 7th grade, and they have changed so much. They're not as irritating. They don't ask a lot of stupid questions, and they're just overall a lot nicer than they were before. And so yeah, I think that you can change who you are at the core if you really want to. But most of the time, people don't want to put in the work, so they don't, which makes it seem like you can't.
I have a way that we can decide on the giveaway. What's the number one rule of being a big boss? If if someone can answer that question for us, what's the number one rule of being a big boss, we will gladly give you copies of both books. The only thing that we'll need from you is your mailing address where you would like us to ship them, and we'll be happy to send them out autographed to your address of record. So please comment in the comment section. Those of you that already know, specifically Shanique, Genesis, and Kadian, and KB Tyson, you all are excluded because y'all already know. Do not share the answers. Do not share the answers with those that don't know. It has to be someone that we don't already know. We need you to comment in the comments below what is the number one rule of being a big boss. But to make it even more difficult, because I don't trust you ladies to give somebody the answer, what is the tagline for the business? The rules of a big boss LLC. So it's a two-part question. What is the number one rule for being a big boss, and what is the company's tagline? What do you think?
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and answer the question so I can get an autographed copy of both.
No.
Why?
Because you already know what the answer is and you already have one.
But I make the rules so I can change the rules.
No.
Why not?
Because once you say something, then that's that, and you can't take it back. No take back.
So how about if you answer and I answer at the same time, both of us win?
No.
Why?
No take backs.
That ain't fair.
It is fair because no take backs. Because how is that fair to the people that haven't earned anything?
Well, that's their fault. So
that's not how that works.
So again, in the comment section, let us know what the tagline of the business is and what is the number one rule of being a big boss, and we will happily send a copy of both books to you. Where can they find you online?
You can find you can find them on, you can find me on my Instagram and Facebook, which is the Book of Self-Love 2020. And then for my website, you can also find more of my socials like YouTube and stuff like that on my website, which is www.thebookofselflove.com.
What about YouTube? Are you on YouTube?
I can't ever remember the name. That's why I said best go to the website. It's at the icon that's like at the bottom of the page, I believe.
The YouTube name is the same as the book name, The Rules of a Big Boss. What do we do on the YouTube page?
Activities that are in the book, like hold on, let me see. Okay, that was perfect opening. Like this, for example. I don't know if you can read it, so I'm going to read it. Please use this area to describe what you have learned about yourself. Please also share how and why it is important. So that is one example of what we do, is like we answer some of the activity sheets that are in the book, and then we also do some of the coloring sheets that I give out for free on my website.
Have you done anything exciting for children? Like, what do you do for younger children that are related to your book and your business and things of that nature?
For the literacy, I am like I think it's called an ambassador for the literacy program. It's for the people. I think it's in Texas.
No, there's one in Texas and there's one in Detroit.
Yeah, for the people who for the kids more specifically who are learning how to read, and people with like learning disabilities, so that they can get new books and be able to afford to learn how to read and stuff like that. And then I also, for like any kid that like reaches out, can like I can be like an ambassador for them and make a post or something like that for them to help get out whatever it is that they're doing. Like if they sell something, I can purchase one of their things in exchange for them purchasing something of mine. I can give them like a story. It doesn't, like, it's pretty much unlimited.
What about the blog? What type of things do they find on your blog?
Pretty much whatever. It can be about the book. It can be about a personal experience. It can be about like updates on the book, and it can be pretty much whatever.
Does this ring a bell at all? What do we do with stuff like this?
That's a coloring sheet from us.
Yeah, I know, but what do we do with? Do you have coloring sheets or a coloring activity book or anything to that effect?
I had said earlier that I give away coloring sheets for free.
What's the scope of the coloring sheets?
I don't know what scope means.
What's the purpose of the coloring sheets?
To like for the younger children, like when you actually actively do something, you're more inclined to learn. So what's on the sheets, like love yourself and slay and words like that. When you visually do something, sorry, I'm looking away from the camera, it's bright. The light around it is bright. And yeah, so it's like when you do something, you can learn it rather than just reading it. So that's more for the younger children. And then we give them away for free because of coronavirus and like the world pretty much shut down. So we don't want to make it like harder for people to like be able to pay their bills and stuff like that, to have to buy everything.
Any upcoming projects?
I am currently writing The Rules of a Little Boss, a book of self-love, which is catered towards the younger children all the way up into like maybe the 4th grade, because I know when I was like in the 1st grade, I could easily read stuff like this, but not everyone can. So yeah, it's targeted to really the younger audience.
Yeah, so in closing, as I said before, we're going to give out a copy of each book autographed to anyone that's listening in or whatever, but you had to be able to answer both questions. No halving, you had to be able to answer both questions. There are a lot of clues out there to the answer. You just have to be willing to search. So I'll give you a clue. Visit our website, which is
www.thebookofselflove.com.
Check out her Instagram, which is
The Book of Self-Love 2020.
Check out her Facebook, which is
the same as my Instagram, which is which is The Book of Self-Love 2020.
And check out her YouTube, which is
The Rules of BigBoss.
If you go to any one of those, or maybe even all of those, you'll be able to find the answers to the 2 questions I asked. Again, the questions are, what is her tagline, and what is the #1 rule of being a big boss? Please feel free to answer those in the comments. Someone that doesn't already know the answer, we will know if you already knew the answer or not, because we know who's watching, we know who we've talked to. But someone new, answer those questions, we will happily sign and autograph, and we'll send those books out to you as promptly as possible. We hope you guys have a good rest of the day. We'll see you at our next live event. Please feel free to ask us any questions that you guys have. We'll be happy to answer them until our time is run out for the rest of the day. Should I do it again? Peace, love, and hair,
Please don't
please.
do that. Bye.